are you guys? Hope that you are well. My shop is reopened. That is in my description if you want to check that out. I am doing personal readings again, but I am going through my wait list first. So I will let you guys know. It probably will be a month-ish before I can open it up to everybody. But if you are on my wait list, be on the lookout for an email to ask if you'd like to book with me. My Venmo and PayPal are at the bottom of my description if you would like to leave me a tip. That is greatly appreciated. I asked Aries, people that do tip, would you be open to me shouting you out and thanking you, or would you prefer to remain anonymous? I would like to know. So if you have an opinion on that, leave it below. Anyways, let's see what you guys have coming in, Gemini. What do we need to know for the Gemini? Coven, the spiral, send a signal, mystery, organization of the unknown, time connects, illusion, golden, and dreams. I kind of want to see here. Well, okay. Coven, being connected with soul family. Literally somebody could be partaking in a coven here, finding your magic and connecting with others that vibrate with your magic. The spiral is an energy of when we move throughout our life, you will find that you feel like, okay, I have completed that cycle, I have learned, I am ready to move forward. And then it's like you're eventually brought back. And it's like because our lives kind of are circular and move in cycles. So finding that obstacles that you thought that you faced and overcame, demons that you thought that you slayed and you defeated might be coming back into your life now, but it's more so to kind of test what you've learned and show that you've grown as a person, both to yourself and, maybe even to others. You never really know who is like finding inspiration through your journey, You might have friends and family that kind of watch you in your day-to-day life and don't really tell you, but they find inspiration, they find motivation from what you're going through. So seeing you have a shitty ex that comes back into your life and you have to kind of make the decision, am I going to go through this cycle again, or am I going to release this person? Or if that person is not coming back towards you, a person that looks and acts just like them, and you think, well, maybe if I do it again this time, this person is different and it's going to be different this time. Every time that you make the decision that, you know what, I am going to pass. I've been down this road before, I'm not interested in repeating it, no thank you. You don't know that you might have had a friend that was considering going back to an ex too, and seeing you not, and seeing you make better decisions for yourself helps them to release a karmic individual as well. So, and also, that has to do with, ties into coven too. Being, not just going on your spiritual journey alone, because, there is a time in our spiritual journey where we go hermit mode and we feel kind of isolated, and, it's really so that we can distinguish who we are as an individual and come back home to ourselves. But there's also a time where you need to reconnect with others, and you'll find that as you connect to who you are as an individual, you will start to recognize that I know me. So one, I'm not going to allow people that try to project their own issues onto me. I'm going to recognize when you're projecting and, reject that energy transference. I'm not going to pick up the burden of your own issues. So, that's great. But also, I know who I am, so I know who's good for me. So when I meet somebody, it's not a situation where it's like, are we getting along because this person kind of, feeds into my toxic behaviors, that I like to gossip or I like to drink, and what we really have in common is that we go out and get really drunk together, but that's really all that there is there. You no longer have that attraction to people like that, and you're more so attracted to people that I really like doing this hobby. I really like learning about this specific thing. I really like growing as a person. And this other person vibrates with me on that level. So I know that I want to continue to explore this relationship and, uplift each other in that way. With send a signal is an energy of finding who you are as an individual and pushing that out. Again, pulling in people that vibrate with who you are because you are clearly expressing yourself. You can't get mad in life if I don't show who I truly am, if I put up a mask and then I realize that, hey, none of my friends really know who I am, and I don't really like any of these people, and they don't really get along with who I am as a person. They get along with who I pretend to be. Well, yeah, what do you expect? People can't get to know you if you're not showing who you are, especially if you don't know yourself. Mystery is a card of uncovering life's mysteries. I'm noticing that both of these have snakes here. So snakes symbolize karma for me, but also is interesting, and I haven't looked as much into this, but this is just a tidbit. One of the strongest laws, one of the most respected laws is Damballa, the snake. In Nordic myth, the ancient Nordic snake. I have not really, this is just, as a shaman, I have to learn all of this stuff, and these are connected with my ancestry anyway. So I am on my own learning process. So I am not an expert whatsoever. If those are interesting to you, look them up. But in ancient religions, myth, snakes are kind of seen and worshipped as, like the Kundalini, the primal energy that rises up our spine. They're seen as something to be respected, as something to be worshipped. It's interesting that Christians kind of, went the opposite way, because this is an energy of one, karma, but also unlocking of like ancient knowledge that still rings true today, because, it's not bogged down by colonizers and settlers and, let's make people feel guilty so they'll give us their money and then they can get into heaven. It's kind of like the beliefs and practices of your ancestors. Connecting to your ancestors is a great way, and learning about your ancestors and what they worshipped and what they believed, and their practices of healing especially are very beneficial as somebody that is trying to heal generational wounds, because let's say Ireland, Scotland, Gaelic is, there's only like, I think 160,000 people that can speak their native tongue anymore. St. Patrick is, seen as this great, Irish figure. St. Patrick was responsible for going around Ireland and Scotland and burning every book in their native language about their ancestral myths, their religious practices. It was erased. People that continued to worship the deities of their ancestors were burned. Some of them were sold into slavery. It's a lot of trauma that is carried there, but it's erased, and St. Patrick is seen as a hero. A hero for destroying the culture. So kind of exploring that and exploring, Celtic beliefs and, deities there that are more in vibration with your ancestors, and, also help you heal trauma around expressing who you truly are. Because if your ancestors were put in a position to where they had to hide their beliefs, African The reason that Santeria, the reason that voodoo exists is because slaves had to take their religion of, Yoruba. They had to take, that's my ancestry, but, there are lots. That's the one I'm the most familiar with. They had to take their beliefs and morph it into fit with Catholicism because it was illegal not to be Catholic. So thankfully with Catholicism, there are saints, so they were able to synchronize their orishas with the saints, and then I can still worship under the guise of I'm worshiping this saint. But that's the reason that exists. That's the reason that, voodoo is tied into Catholicism. It's not because they wanted to be Catholic or, Catholic, Catholicism was just so great. They couldn't, it was because they would have been killed if not. And, a lot of ancestors were killed because, they didn't want to give up their religious beliefs. So even though, today you don't even really know the trauma that your ancestors experienced, it still is carried within you in the way that you feel like if you express, if you grew up very religious like me, just doing what I do is kind of like I'm seen as demonic by a lot of people. A lot of people feel like I do like dark work. A lot of people feel like, oh, she only gets what she gets because she's like a dark witch, A lot of people just assume that I'm Wiccan because, I am different and I don't subscribe to Christian beliefs. And I have received a lot of hate for that. I've received a lot of people not wanting to be my friend, people gossiping about me, people, not wanting to date me because I must be doing love spells on them. That must be the only reason that like they feel attracted to me. It's been a reoccurring thing since I have really embraced my spirituality, especially like being open about the fact that I do practice hoodoo and I do worship orishas and I do worship Loa, and it's because I have really connected to my ancestry and I have connected to who I was in a past life as well, and recognizing the role that I'm meant to play in this lifetime because of that. It's in line with Coven. Historically, people that were seen as witches were burned, were either given the option that you are a Christian now and you never connect to these spirits, these, deities that have helped you heal and that have helped bring, positive energy into you and, your family's lives. You have to abandon them now for Christianity or you're dead. That's a trauma that you carry in any bloodline. I would think that it would be hard for somebody to look at their ancestry and not find ancestor within your bloodline that was prosecuted for their religious beliefs, and that's a trauma that you will carry whether you're aware of it or not. And by connecting with who your ancestors were and the religions that they practiced, you bring a lot of healing, especially when you're worshiping a god, I know it's offensive for some people, but if your ancestors weren't Christian, if your ancestors weren't, and I'm not talking about 1-2 generations back, I'm talking about where your lineage began. If they were not under the religions that you have been taught, it's at least worth exploring what they did and seeing if you connect with those energies. And it's a way to heal yourself and heal people around you as well, because when you learn about it, you can express who you are. I've had a lot of people that like clients. This is more so, I'm channeling a lot today. And the organization of the unknown, trying to make sense of what you are learning spiritually especially when your only religious background is in Christianity. You know, tarot is called evil by some people. You know, astrology, some people look at it like it's demonic. I don't feel like something that can be used for healing would vibrate with the devil, but you know, it could be, depending on who's using. Anybody picking up a tarot deck isn't going to be channeling the divine. It depends on who they are as a person. I've talked about that before too, because it works the same as Ouija. If I am not a nice person, if I, you know, live in a very low vibration, when I'm playing with tarot, I'm picking up on, you know, spirits, and not all spirits are beneficial spirits. A lot of spirits are trickster spirits. A lot of spirits are, stuck between, you know, worlds. So it's not necessarily every reader is the best reader. But I don't feel like something that can be used for healing and spiritual healing and for connection to your individual guides and connection to God yourself outside of a third party telling you how you should and shouldn't worship. I don't feel like that's evil. And I feel like somebody that discourages you from pursuing something that brings peace and healing into your life, I think that is evil. And that's kind of this energy here. Illusion and golden. You know, this is an energy of somebody is breaking through illusions in their life and finding who they are. And with Send a Signal, expressing that fully. Most people that decide to pursue a religious or, you know, the occult, whatever, if you decide to go against kind of how you were raised and your community, you're often, you know, kicked to the curb. Yeah, look. The devil judgment here. 3 of Swords. Making the decision to release. Like I said, I have met far more people in the, you know, I grew up in the Methodist Church. I have met far more evil people, evil to their core, that are Christians, and they are performative Christians. They are not truly Christians because they don't actually take the teachings of Christ and apply it to who they are in their lives. They use Christianity as a cover-up. You know, I can't be a bad person because I go to church and I donate to the church and I, you know, participate in these church activities. Therefore, any bad that I do in my life comes into question and must be false because I go to church on Sunday, you know. Awakening to things in your life that have been oppressive. The devil is oppression. Heartbreak. 9 of Pentacles is being independent. Somebody is finding their independence and releasing the oppression that you felt in your life. And this really goes hand in hand with feminine energy, the rising of the divine feminine. Because Christianity, most organized religions are masculine-based, you know, bodies of worship. Religion is masculine. But anybody that understands the, you know, duality of masculine, feminine energy, connection to God is feminine, spirituality is feminine. So throughout time, religions have come in, you know, settlers, oppressors using religion have come in and destroyed feminine-based societies. So it's the divine feminine has been targeted and exploited and oppressed. So finding healing, you know, everybody needs to heal their inner feminine energy so that you can connect with your spiritual team and you can connect with your ancestors and you can connect to ancient knowledge within Mother Earth, you know, not Father Earth. And a big part of that is releasing ways you have been oppressed by toxic masculinity throughout your life. And, you know, toxic masculinity oppresses men just as much as it oppresses women, because it gives you a very small box of what a man is. And part of being a man is denying your humanity. You're not allowed to have emotions. You're not allowed to be expressive. You're not allowed to be soft. You're not allowed to need nurturing and need, emotional connection. You have to be hard and cold and, stomp on other people. And really, you're there to make money. You're there to boss people around. And that's all you're meant to do. That is very oppressive as a human that, is multifaceted and meant to express both masculine and feminine energy in order to feel whole. It's not normal to never cry. It's not normal to never need emotional support. It's not normal to, not want to hug your friends, when you're having a bad day. That's not normal, and it really suppresses your ability to operate as a human. And it also puts you in a position where you are taking fellow humans, women, and taught to, degrade them and see them as sexual objects and, collect, Pokemon. How many can you collect? And treating another human that way, being encouraged and, cheered on for treating other humans like they are sport, like they are property, that hurts your humanity as well. You can't treat another human like that and not have it affect you on an emotional level unless you're a psychopath, unless you're a narcissist and you lack empathy. But most people do have empathy, So it's damaging to both men and women. With the spiral is 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands. So 7 of Wands is blocking, but it's also overcoming obstacles. 4 of Wands is union, is divine union. It's solid relationships. It can be marriage, but I also get union of self, the divine feminine and divine masculine, coming together as one. You are being reintroduced to old cycles that you have completed in the past so that you can overcome these obstacles to finding union within yourself and therefore being able to find a divine partner. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, Ace of Cups, a new beginning of love in the physical, whether it be with another person or yourself. And it usually begins from within. To find generational wealth, to find abundance, somebody to have a long-term relationship with that is abundant, releasing the past so that you can do so. And with 5 of Cups, releasing guilt that you may carry. Forgiving, finding forgiveness for yourself. As these cycles are coming back up in your life, being able to be gentle with your former self, recognizing that this is something that I fed into or fell for in the past, and rather feeling embarrassment or guilt or, anger that, why did I do this in the past and it set me back, rather than feeding into that, find compassion for yourself. And, what a blessing it is that I was able to overcome this lesson, and how much have I progressed as a person for being able to take this lesson and integrate it into my life. So it's not a punishment that this is coming back up in my life. It's a blessing that I am able to see clearly that this was something that would have got to me before. This is something that would have bothered me in the past, and I'm able to heal from it and move forward in my life. And finding compassion for the former you that wasn't there yet. With send a signal, 6 of Swords, 2 of Cups. Yeah, moving into smoother waters. Strength card at the bottom of the deck. With the Devil is Capricorn. Strength card is Leo. Somebody could be, especially with the 2, you could be pulling in a soulmate that might be a Leo. Somebody might have Leo in their chart. 6 of Swords is a card of moving into smoother waters here. With the butterfly there, a transformation. And like I was saying, understand a signal. Healing yourself, finding who you truly are within yourself will help pull in the Two of Cups as soul partner that vibrates with who you truly are here. Resisting what it is in your life that was holding you back before. Finding the courage and strength within yourself to express who you are fully, and therefore pulling in people that see you in your fullness and, you know, want to partake. That can meet you there. Under mystery is a Page of Wands. Chariot. Somebody might have Cancer in their chart as well. Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. For some, Queen of Wands, Five of Pentacles. For some, there is, you are completing a cycle here and moving forward on a new venture. And it's spiritual in nature with Wands, something that you're passionate about because you are unlocking mysteries within your life. You are healing and you are moving forward. You are ending cycles of being backstabbed and betrayed by, this is a karmic feminine energy. But as I have explained before, a Queen of Wands is a fuckboy energy because a queen is a passive energy. Somebody that relies on lust, that relies on aggression, that relies on, a lot of times with the wand, spell work to get what they want here passively. So I'm going to play games and I'm going to use my sexuality and I'm going to even use spell work in some instances to get what I want. Somebody, and then Five of Pentacles, somebody is leaving a karmic here out in the cold because they have kind of had enough of being backstabbed and betrayed by this person. They have juggled back and forth. This person, it's a masculine energy, but take it how it resonates. They have juggled this karmic energy, this feminine karmic, because they had foundations with this karmic. You know, this is somebody from their past that they have felt that they had something with that, you know, look at how much we've been through together. Why would you leave me? That type of energy. But they're starting to recognize here that this is an endless cycle and this relationship has done nothing but left them wounded. They've been coming in and out of others' lives because this karmic feminine is like a constant presence, but they're recognizing here that this karmic feminine only brings lack into their life. If they want to be stable, if they want to be able to, King of Coins is a Capricorn energy as well. If they want to do well in their career, they want to advance in life, and they also want to be in a stable relationship, they need to release this karmic. Somebody has found out that somebody was doing magic on them. Somebody has a masculine energy here. Could be anybody, take it how it resonates. They have found out that there's a feminine. For some, it's a like friend that's been in their life for a long time, and you know that it might have been a friend that they've hooked up with in the past. I don't get that this is somebody that they had a stable relationship with. This is somebody that has just been in their life for a long time. It might be somebody that when this person is single, they go back to this person. It's somebody that has resonated with their wounds. And they've found out recently, Page of Swords, Magician, that this feminine energy has been using spell work to hold them back in life, to interfere with both their work, their financial abundance, and to keep this person single specifically. There's another feminine energy here. This masculine wants to pursue, has feelings for. They don't want to let this feminine go, but Queen of Swords, this a second feminine energy has gone cold here. There will be victory though. High Priestess, Six of Wands. There is going to be public victory. There is going to be a turn in fate because somebody is now rejecting energy that was keeping them stuck before. Seven of Swords. keeping them in an energy of dishonesty, betrayal, you know, toxicity. Somebody is releasing a karmic feminine here and wanting to move back towards divine feminine. They have made the decision, and it's really because, as we were talking about earlier, somebody is starting to recognize they're going through a spiritual awakening where they are recognizing that they weren't really progressing in life because there were people in their life holding them back and that weren't really resonating with who they truly were or where they wanted to go. And there's also somebody in the mix was using actual like black magic to hurt this person financially, to keep them single. And it was more so because this person liked getting attention. You know, if we're just friends and all we're ever going to be is friends, I'm going to do spell work to keep you from being financially stable. I'm going to do spell work to keep you single, to hurt all of your relationships, because I want to be able to use you for attention. I want to be able to use you for a hookup. I want to be able to use you to make other people that I'm dating jealous. And I'm a Queen of Wands. I don't really care. You know, I'm just in it for me. It's a selfish energy as in a low vibration. So for whoever that resonates with, that karmic is getting kicked to the curb, and this person is coming around. They're wanting a stable relationship, but they're in a Knight of Cups energy where they're still kind of, I get that they're feeling more vulnerable because they're recognizing that the person that they were trusting, the person that they were putting over other people, was actually using spell work on them. So they feel kind of at a disadvantage right now. They want to pursue the Empress, but they feel, you know, they're in a Knight energy. A Knight moving towards an Empress is difficult. You would ideally want to be a king. This person is moving into a king energy, but they have just discovered that the reason they haven't been a king is because the Queen of Wands has been, you know, black magic. Black magic was involved. Not for everybody, but, you know, for somebody specific. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that that was helpful. I'll see you again soon. Bye.